Welcome back from the short break. You are still watching ACFIM Talks, and we are looking at the battle for NUP leadership. Before we went for a break, there were questions that were raised that are quite pertinent, that try to understand the legal standing of NUP. The bigger question is understanding the legal entity called NUP. What is the legal standing of NUP? Who are the legal subscribers to NUP? When it comes to the law, what does the law say in terms of what does the law recognize in terms of who are the members of NUP? And before we even discuss the MOU, because in the MOU, let me just look at the first clause of MOU, which looks at that the leadership of the People Power Movement, having fully obtained membership of the party, shall contest for, and if elected, take influential positions within the party, and henceforth steer it forward. Meaning, the MOU, by extension, makes the members of People Power members of NUP, the MOU. And also, this same MOU, I don't seem to see the time frame of the MOU. Maybe again, Gideon will help us here, because he talked about that it was given a time frame of 1 year. So, but those questions, let me come back to Gideon. And we've also been joined by Henry Muguzi, because I think it's important that Henry joins us for this discussion, for the implications of this kind of conundrum in political parties. Because it has far-reaching implications on democracy, and I think it would be good to look at beyond NUP, what does this mean to party democracy and dispensation that we are in? But Gideon, the legal questions that have been raised, can you try to demystify them? Unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, proceed.
Yes, in the operations of political parties have to play their, their issues internally. That is what they call internal democracy. The internal democracy includes that members of the party can sit and decide how the party will move. Because a political party is a public entity. It is not for an individual. So whichever must be done within the confines of the law. And this is the party constitution and the Political Parties and Organizations Act and the constitution respectively. So in this part, before even you talk anything else legally in terms of political parties operations, you have to talk about a member. Who is a member of a party? A member of a party is that person who holds a party membership card, which he has paid for what they call subscription fee, and his or her name must appear in the register of that party. So that is a member of the party. So after describing a member of a party, that member has a right to participate in elections and decisions of the party through the party organs. So the party organs, what are the party organs according to NUP? The party organs, there must be elections from village level, from village to parish, from parish to sub-county, from sub-county to district, from district then delegates are elected in that way, among others. So you have to follow those steps in order to become a leader in the party. If you are not a leader through those steps and those organs, then you cannot be taken to be a leader, or you cannot become just a member by taking a position at the end of the day, that you just come and be, a delegate from Tungamo when you were not elected by the Tungamo people. So in this case, the legal part of it, which can be summed up, is being summed up by the membership, the membership kind of arrangement in the party. So if one was not a member, then cannot become a member by mere writing. And in this, I don't go to, to the arrangement which was made in the MOU. That MOU, which is between, they're saying it is between NUP and the People Power. In the first place, People Power cannot make an arrangement, a legal arrangement, with a registered political party, which is National Unity Platform. Secondly, if such arrangement was to be done, then the party would be consulted. And this is SEC, where the president by then, Mr. Chibarama, would have consulted the SEC, seeking for the approval to welcome Chagulanyi into the party, which was not done. So Robert Kyagulanyi did not append his signature in the register of the party. He was not given a card or a party card to, to include him or to include them as they came into the party. So now for them, after doing whichever they did, they went and started printing cards from NASA and giving different people. They started, forming themselves into things which are not in the constitution of the party. For example, the position of the principal does not appear in our constitution. We have been hearing that is called the principal, which does not appear here. Secondly, when they were doing elections, they were using a vetting process, forming a committee to vet those who are to vie for different positions. That one does not appear in our constitution. So we were just looking in that way. So in the legal part of it by itself, leave alone the MOU being illegal, being null and void, but also the processes of which implementation of it were also null and void by themselves. So if the MOU had 1 year, which was to elapse on 11th of July 2021, and it was not renewed, by whatever sections, by whichever articles, by whichever arrangement they had, the moment it elapsed, everything elapsed there and then. So the illegality and the formation and the implementation of that MOU ended there and then. And there was writing by those who handed over the party to him, actually informing them that the marriage has ended. So when the marriage has ended and been dissolved, then you cannot say it is still standing. So it ended there. But on that, even during that period, we had to wait for another year, awaiting for the period mandated in the Constitution to hold the delegates conference, of which we waited. And at this particular time now, it is upon that we are calling for the accountability from those who were using the name of NUP. Accountability not only in terms of money, which was being collected from various people, various organizations, from the government and the rest, but also accountability in terms of the personnel, in terms of the members, those who are purportedly have been registered under a name of NUP should be brought to the party, and the party sec will approve, the legal conference will approve. So in that way, there is nothing being done completely up to now. What they are only doing is to go to the media, pay off the media, not to listen to us. And that's when we reach end. We cannot promote that kind of arrangement. This is dictatorial, it is draconian, so we cannot really promote that. So on the question of returns, the reason even why we came up, there was no return from whoever to the Electoral Commission. So as a party where the subscribers are ourselves, where Kyagulanyi is not a subscriber, where Kyagulanyi is not known even in anywhere, even when you look at that MOU, his name does not appear. He's a very smart guy in that kind of arrangement. It does not appear. He's not a party to anything. So generally, you would even worry of what is taking place. So we inquired from Electoral Commission, there was no return taken there. So our party would have been deregistered, having not complied with the requirements of the law. So we have to come in. So the money which is the Electoral Commission is raising and the iPod goes to Kyagulanyi, and under which arrangement? Kyagulanyi is even not reporting to us anything completely nothing. Because now we're asking ourselves, which card number do you hold? If NUP had 9,000 members, it means if Kyagulanyi came at 9,000 is 9,001. But we don't know which number is carrying now. So he's signing, and the Constitution does even not allow him to sign on the membership card. The SEC did not approve the members, even the cards to be issued out. These people went to NASA and started printing the cards, started doing what, which is completely illegal, which could not be allowed at all. So the certificate of registration were the ones having it. Because we are the party, we did not hand over a registration certificate, original one. We are the landlord in this case. So the landlord says, please don't power rubbish there. So somebody who is saying, may I have to do that? That's not allowed in law, seriously. And in the normal circumstance where we need democracy to be, pure and clean in our country, you cannot allow that kind of arrangement. Taking a party like as if it is, this kind of musical shows. So then where the elected people? The elected people, for them, they were not told the truth. You know, there was too much influx into that arrangement. So people were not told, actually, were not oriented into the issues of the party. Even they don't know. If you ask them what does NUP stand for, they don't even know the ideology of the party. They don't know where the party, how it, they have never read even the constitution of the party. So they just came and were duped, and so they have to pay money. We hear they were paying about 5 million, 10 million. Who the one who has money is the one who takes a card. Surely, that is safety. The police should even come in. That is safety. And we couldn't go into that kind of way. So we have tried to tell them. We never wanted to go to the media before. We wanted, to handle this matter internally so that they can report to us, as said the approach said, bring the people, Chabrani would have come and say, you know what, I've done good to the party. I've got 50 members of parliament. I've got this at the level, different levels. But please, let them be incorporated in the party. And then they could maybe enter into the register, could be, arrangement would have been done. But up to now, there is completely nothing. So in that arrangement, there is nothing like even to question any legal. There is, they know what they are doing, wherever they are doing. If they continue, by the way, operating in the name of NUP, we shall report to police because we have already reported to everybody. We have submitted our returns, the Electoral Commission. We have done everything. A party can change anybody at any time, at its discretion. If a party, if it is after 2 years as mandated in the party, and the party sits and says, Gideon, you are no longer the spokesperson of NUP. I will go aside and remain in the party if I'm a royal person in the party. But the moment you become so arrogant and start abusing the party, they will handle you. Recently, you had Honorable Senyoni abused the executive, saying that those are crooks. And the party is going to invite him next week into the party disciplinary committee. If he fails to appear, the party will write to Parliament and the Electoral Commission and disown him, and he will lose the seat. He's thinking it is just a joke. No, we are not joking. We want sanity in the party. Somebody goes around abusing, say, I'm an NUP member, and everybody now knows I'm an NUP member. They do abuse. You cannot really go in that way. So, in simple terms, gentlemen, the panelists, the issue of NUP has no factions. NUP is solid. It has got its mandate on how to go according to the Constitution, and we are informing everybody. We are informing IPOD that we are there. We have written to IPOD. We have written to the Electoral Commission. We are informed the Attorney General. We shall have to do our mandate. If Chabrani and his group wants to come to the party, the delegates conference will come to them. The delegates conference actually passed a resolution that all those members who were elected purportedly in the name of NUP should report within 2 weeks to the party headquarters so that they can get that blessing of confirmation. If they were baptized by our errant reverend, now the bishop has allowed to confirm them and they become in the party. Much as it is not the process that would have gone. So in that arrangement, gentlemen, we are really set to move forward. We don't care about, by the way, the too much popularity. A popularity must come with sanity in the party. If we are to have good democracy in our country, we must follow what the party says. We must follow what the law says. You cannot just allow everything to continue. Tomorrow, we shall be held responsible for the actions of the people who don't even belong to the party.
All right, Gideon, thank you so much. There you have it. Henry, the reason why I brought you in on this one, it's especially the second part of the show, because we are discussing but this has broader implications on political parties in Uganda, especially the opposition. And from your perspective as a political analyst, whatever is going on in NUP, and you've heard from Gideon, but also heard from a couple of questions raised by Aboneka. What are the implications on this saga, on the rest of political parties in the opposition, but also what is the fate of the MPs that picked party cards which were apparently done from NASA? Because NUP now has 57 MPs in parliament. What is the implication of the MPs to this development that we are seeing?
Thank you, Felix, and thank you, Gideon. Gideon will come in, and Michael, thank you for joining. I know it's a public holiday. Now, as he was making a submission, I was reading the MOU. Allegedly was done illegally, but the MOU. In the MOU, I think section 3, and I'm going to read this ipsis verbal. It says, Mr. Nkong Moses Kibalama will always be recognized as the founder of the National Unity Party. Now, we don't know at this time whether it is Unity Party or Unity Platform. And shall become the head of the Elders Advisory, the head of the Elders Advisory Board of the party. The question is, does such a position exist in the constitution of that was registered with the Electoral Commission? Number 2, political parties, I think, suffer from what you can call founder member syndrome, because you can clearly see that in Mr. Kibalama is recognizing himself as the founder of NUP, and therefore as founder, his decision reigns supreme. He can actually override the decisions of SEC. And this we have seen in many other political parties, whether it is the party in power, whether it is the other opposition parties. The founder members tend to keep their handle, and they tighten that handle on the political parties that they have founded, and that has become a problem of the progression of those political parties. But that said, what Gideon is sharing casts a lot of questions on the capacity of the Electoral Commission to act as the overseer of political parties in Uganda. Does the Electoral Commission have capacity to promote sanity within the political parties? Because what he's saying clearly demonstrates that the Electoral Commission, upon receipt of whatever they received from Kibalama, did not go ahead and conduct due diligence to the fact that we don't know whether that delegates conference, which gave Kibalama powers to lead the party, is also the same one that appointed Honorable Kyagulanyi as the flag bearer for the presidential race. Now, it seems therefore that there could be many other political parties that have submitted and done things that the Electoral Commission has registered that are not actually in the law and are not existent in the law. What does this mean for democracy in Uganda? Because anything constructed on a wrong foundation, I think, is in itself wrong. So I think it tells you that the Electoral Commission, the way it is not able to perform two roles. It cannot be the electoral management body at the same time the registrar of political parties. I think the time has come for us in Uganda to think about creation of an independent body that will act as the registrar of political parties. Our brothers in Kenya have this. In Kenya, they have what they call registrar of political parties. So this one, on a daily basis, is overseeing political parties and making sure that there is sanity. That is number one. Number 2, when you ask about the other implication, now, Michael will guide us on this. If it is true that the cards that were taken to the Electoral Commission were printed at NASA, I have read the penal code as an ordinary citizen, but I know there is a crime called the falsification of documents. You know, when you go and utter a false document, that is a crime. Is Gideon saying that the police should swing into action and get that person, book that person who issued those cards? And is it true what he's saying? Because we also need to confirm what he's saying. Now, the issue of what's the fate of the 57 members of NUP in Parliament. And when you asked me this question, I was reflecting on a situation where you have this man that comes and rapes a woman. This woman conceives. The baby that is produced out of that rape, does he become a legally recognized son or daughter of that raper, of the rapist? What does the law say? In this case, the 57 were children of rape. Because what Gideon is trying to put on the table is that you see the constitution of NUP was a rape, and Nkoge Chibalama is complicit in that rape. So what is this you are talking about? So there are quite a number of volumes, and I think I'm happy that we have come to speak about this, because for democracy to thrive and blossom in this country, we need to make sure that political parties are doing the wrong things. Because if you are a political party that is leading in opposition, you are actually a government in waiting. And therefore, as a government in waiting, you must demonstrate by word and deed that you are able to espouse the principles of accountability, the transparency, that you are able to hold something big. Because you see, if you cannot demonstrate, I always repeat this because I like it, when our brothers in Nigeria keep saying that if you are a lizard inside your home, you cannot be a crocodile on the village. So if you want to be a crocodile on the village, first be a crocodile in your home. So if you cannot be a crocodile within a smaller party, will you be a crocodile in the government? So I think there are things that these are things we need to contemplate about. These are things we should have a serious conversation as pro-democracy activists and as citizens of this country. We need to make sure that political parties will have passed the billing as political parties. And I think the things we are seeing in NUP could also be existing in the biggest political party in the country, the NRM, because we are also seeing one founder member who has captured it. Maybe they're also doing things that are crisscrossing the laws and the rules, and so we need to interrogate most of this, because at the end of the day, the bigger picture is of the country called Uganda. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you so much, Henry. We are coming to the tail end, but I'll borrow a couple of minutes because we need to bring this conversation home. And let me come to you, Michael. In view of what's happening, because I think there are more questions that need answers. And as of now, we only have the submission or the position of Gideon Tugume. Probably we may also need to have, we would have loved to have a perspective of electoral commission. Maybe at some point we shall have that discussion. And also, it's now clear that there are two NUPs. There is NUP. Okay, there are two factions, because there is the NUP of Gideon, but because electoral commission as of now is dealing with the other NUP of Chagulani, so there are two NUPs in one way or another. But Aboneka, how do we get out of this? How would you advise NUP to address this situation they are in for the greater good of democracy, actually, because this is not just about NUP.
Thank you, Gideon, and thank you, Felix, Gideon, and Henry. Henry always has interesting stories about the rape. Unfortunately, Henry, that child belongs to the rapist family. There's nothing to do. Like his DNA, unfortunately. So unfortunately, those members of parliament are in there, and unfortunately, as the law stands in regards to the Sechikubo case, the rebel MPs, you cannot remove them on the account that they have lost their party card and leadership. Because the idea of representative democracy is that people vote people. But you know that this time around, people were like, me, I don't even remember who I voted. All I looked for was an umbrella. So there was a big implication on this. Yeah, and I can feel Gideon's pain, that I don't think people knew the names of the people they were voting for. Everyone said, go and vote the what? The umbrella. Right. But now, you hear the same people who probably ask people to vote the umbrella are going to say, but look here, people, there is already a court's decision that I was voted by people not because of the umbrella. And then that is the sad reality, Henry. So the children will have to remain. That's what the law is saying, that they were voted by Ugandans not because of their mother who carried them, the National Unity Platform. So that is the sad reality that Gideon and colleagues have to deal with. But I've read the Gideon's statement calling them to come to terms. Now, for me moving forward, Felix, this thing includes, it is just sheer courtesy and humility that the NUP, let me say the Kanmocha NUP, and wherever, come and clear the air. I'm also waiting to read their press statement. It's unfortunate that Gideon says people printed cards, they were selling cards, they were doing what have you. Because I want to ask, how many members does NUP have? Is there a register? If we went to Kamwatch and asked, can we inspect how many members does NUP have? Do they have a register? Where is that register kept? At EC? Because under the law, you're supposed to furnish EC with this information. I think section 15 or 18, whatever. So the thing is, let us stop the pretense. This doesn't help everyone. I feel Gideon's pain, and I was writing here a question, Gideon, for you, in good faith, that where were you when your thing was being stolen or taken away, for you to come back later? Maybe that one will help us to frame this better. Where were you when the rape was about to happen? So for me, that is the other biggest question. Felix, the other one is for me is to engage the Electoral Commission. I still don't understand. I hope I get this answer. How money is being transferred to Kamwatcha guys? I don't know how. Is it an individual account? Did they go and open an account under NUP? Maybe Gideon will tell us. I just don't understand how, because this is public money. How are transactions being made? Number three, if today I'm writing if today I am working with ACFIM on a number of things, and I am writing a letter to invite NUP, who do I address it to? NUP, in brackets, Gideon, NUP, like how do we get out of here? Number three, iPod. And I think we need to get iPod also in this conversation. And I think we need to have this conversation going, I think, even next week. Let's have iPod. Let's have EC if they are willing. Who do they recognize at iPod? What documents do people take to iPod to it's a club, right? Every club has things you must bring. Even circles, they ask you for certain things. So even iPod, my colleagues, Rusa, we need to ask them, what are those things people bring before they are absorbed into iPod? Now, if Gideon has the original certificate, so what did the other guys present? The MOU? And if iPod went ahead and admitted them, can we also fault iPod? You get what I mean? Like, the thing is huge. How do they enter iPod? Now, Gideon, you know that there is a National Consultative Forum, which I think you are a member of. So now I'm asking, at this point, NFC recognizes who as a contact person for NUV for the National Consultative Forum? Like the Vaganda say, Ana Tulayo. Like when the National Consultative Forum says we are sitting tomorrow and we are calling political parties, who will go? Shall we see Gideon? Then we see, like, when will this end? And I think it is for the interest of Ugandans that we sort this out. I know that some people may not want to swallow the pride so they don't lose it, but we need to sort this out. And this is the things we've been talking about, that injustice continues to grow if people who know what are supposed to be doing don't do it. So for me, Gideon, I don't care. And this is why I keep telling Henry and colleagues that the reason as to why we should have conversations not just about NRM, people are busy with NRM. Our houses are not probably that clean. We all have issues, but let us sort, because that's why I don't belong to a political party, because such things, they have never attracted me. I feel like, hey, there's a lot of mess. But let us have conversations that if it is okay for me to call upon NUP to do the right thing, and then the same thing I am okay to call on NRM, that when I call upon NUP to do the right thing, I shouldn't be bastardized and abused and called all sorts of names. Maybe that's the reason, because people are legitimate, don't have to always be reiterating that way. So for me, and it's good to stick with the legalese. Today, if we asked and they paraded everyone there, and they said, you are a NUP MP, show us your card. You show us your card and we see. Because Gideon, I'm sure, like he says, their cards are serialized. There is a process. So because an MOU, probably I've not even looked at the detail, but Gideon, please, I am happy to read through those things. Send me privately those things, and then Felix and Henry. This is good conversation, because you never know what we might be able to save out of these conversations. And it's always good to come out and state the record clear. Because Gideon, again, I would have asked the question come 2026, but what were you doing? Why did you wait? It's good now you've come out. And for the other group that claims also ownership, I would be happy if those of flagged their registration, card and say, this is our registration card, this is our register, this is how many members we have. Then we say, okay, of the two, which one is authentic? Yeah. So instead of throwing insults and the rest, let them engage in the debate. Let them rebut. If they think Gideon and the group are wrong, let them put it in writing. Okay. Otherwise, it is all messy. Yeah, Henry, uttering false documents and the rest, all those are criminal offenses. If Gideon decided to go that way, almost everyone in that parliament possessing a NUP card will be at CID answering how they got it. Because you see, the thing is that we need to move away from hoodwinking Ugandans, trying to get a better tomorrow, but for our own selfish gains. Because participatory democracy has to remain on truth, on justice, on fairness throughout. So, moving forward, Gideon has put his statement out. It will just be a good thing that the other people also put a statement out so that we know where we belong, not just throw insults. And it's good, and that's good practice by the Gideon, that you're not just tweeting and throwing things there. You've put things on record. I have read your press statement. Let the other people who claim that they're the owners of this thing also put it out there. But if they don't, Gideon, I hope there is a way forward. I read you said you notified the EC, you notified the EU, you notified IPOD, you notified the Attorney General, and you've given them 2 days to report to the party. So let's watch and see. Because for me, I stand on legality. That is my first principle. This principle of legality for everything. Be it a church foundation, be it a circle, you can't be receiving money when you are an illegal entity. So let's sort out the legalese, and then moving forward, the Ugandans also will need to know the truth, because I think that we are tired of people pretending to be helping us, driving us forward, yet actually in actual sense, where we are not seeing the truth. So Felix, for me, moving forward, that should be the way it should be done. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michael. In a few minutes, I'm coming to you, Gideon, Fowler. Then I'll end with Henry. A couple of questions thrown on your side, but also as you answer those questions and how do you plan to get out of this? To be good for us to see what your faction is considering to be the strategic steps it's going to take to harmonize and get out of this kind of scenario we are in. Unmute. Gideon?
Yes, sir. Can I go on?
Please.
Okay. Now, let me first answer the question of where were we when all these things were happening. I explained to you that by 2019, we had just held the delegates conference without Chagulanyi, without that group. The delegates conference had elected Chibarama Moses Nkonge as the president of the party, and together with others. So, whichever happened, for us, we normally wait to the time when we have to come back. Either we are called for a meeting or we are called for a delegates conference. So in this matter, where we are not called, whichever goes on, we look on. But what we did, we wrote several letters wrote several letters requiring, requesting the leadership who are elected to call for the SEC, which is Central Executive Committee. And it took a long time. You see, what I want to tell you, members, is that we are talking about the memorandum of understanding with the NUP together with people power, but there could be maybe which they could have signed, maybe people power people could have signed another memorandum with the government. They have a government protection. I have to tell you this, that we did all what it could to ensure that really this thing is done, but nobody was listening to us. Electoral Commission, we wrote several letters informing Electoral Commission of illegalities which had taken place and which were going on before even the Chagrani had registered himself as a candidate. And the Electoral Commission ignored, completely kept quiet. We even engaged the police at Chiburi. A report is available. A report is available. There are some people who are supposed to have been prosecuted, and the report says they forwarded the file to the Director of Public Prosecutions. It has never been sanctioned today, and all these things are going to come. But we never wanted to bring everything at once. Somebody can. It did not, and we want even to ask DPP why that file was not sanctioned. It is very clear. Forging of cards, forging of everything, receiving money by false pretense, and that kind of thing. And me, a person who has legal background, as you know, counsel, if you fail to report a felony, you become felonious yourself. So I keep seeing all these things going in a very felonious way, and I keep quiet as a person with a legal background. I can't do that. I personally, and others who are in the NUP. So in most cases, we waited, and we are passing through several steps. We even engaged, some people, investigative people, a party engaged, and the report is there, and it was served on the Electoral Commission and other party, but they ignored. Whichever you try to do, they will not listen. Right now, it is only this forum which has given me a chance. We are not in any paper, we are not in any word, because they have protection from the state. I don't know which arrangement, maybe Chaplain will explain, and maybe others, I don't know. You remember when he was campaigning, he was putting on a jacket which is meant for the army, and we asked him, where did you get that jacket? He has never told us. After that ended, we saw him being given a vehicle, being excused of taxes for a vehicle where brakes cannot go through. And we are wondering of many things, And really, this is a part. And people are asking us, Gideon, you also didn't say the struggle, and we really don't know. So many things have come up. So on that part of where we were, we did our part. We are going to bring out the document, very many documents, of which we have written to all the concerned parties, and there is no response. Where we engaged the police at Chiburi, and the report is available. If you can read that report, you will even wonder, but nobody is taking action, and we have been quiet about that. Then NCF is also in that way. It has, people who are ordering it of what to do and what not to do. It is the same with the EC, Electoral Commission, that somebody can say, please don't deal with Gideon, you deal with ABCD, and it ends like that. Then for the case of IPOD, I don't know where they began. The other group says for them they don't want to join IPOD, but again, they receive money under IPOD, and I don't know. Maybe IPOD will answer. Said for us, we are not members of IPOD. It is only us who wrote to IPOD that we want to join. And up to now, they haven't replied to us. So we don't know which interest. Anything of money, it is very complicated in Uganda. You can't, I don't want to speculate. I have a legal background, but I don't know what is really happening there. So if you want to deal with anybody else, as for what you have been asking, you deal with a party that follows the structures. If you can ask the other side, ask them when is their SEC sitting, where does it sit, and who are the members of SEC. When they tell you that, then you know that a party is constituted. But where you have never called for any meeting of SEC, even the so-called the founder, whom we are saying it will recognize the founder, he has never entered into a meeting with them according to his words. You will see the minutes of SEC, the minutes of a database conference. The man was crying, he's sleeping in the house with no windows. Then that is the man, what he was telling us, said, me, I'm suffering, you please forgive me. What I did, I brought Chabrani because of his popularity, and I wanted the party to have members. But members have not come, They have remained silent somewhere. So in between there, we have got information that they want to register another party. Again, passing through under some other people. So they are not clear at all. We cannot run a party like Firebase through. We can't. Where you go and stage a show, whichever you get, you after paying the venue and paying what, then you go say, go home, where I have gone, thank you. No, a party has got the structures. But because people are intimidated, they cannot talk. And members of SEC have been fearing, if you talk about NUP, these people of the people power will come and attack you and kill you. But if we don't talk really, where will the country go? So there is some kind of arrangement that we don't understand, and so we had to come up. The other question was how is money being paid to? We don't know. We told the Electoral Commission long time ago. I'm telling you that even the whistleblowers wrote to the Electoral Commission. We have copies. We instituted security people, private, go and investigate. They investigated and reports are there. We even gave copies to the Electoral Commission, no reply. Police made a report from Chiburi, go to Chiburi, political office, and ask the director will tell you, this file is there, it is a public file. It was sent to DPP for sanctioning. These people would be inside the jails now, but there is nothing. And for us, we don't want to take that route. We want these people to humble themselves. They are very arrogant. We want them to humble themselves. Let them come to the party. Then the party will see what to do with them. As per the resolution of the delegates conference, they said we incorporate these people if they come and report and become members as per the law. Then those who were elected, legally, they were elected in a proper way. Because for them, they were duped. And if you see the process from Chibaramama to Chaguranyi, from Chaguranyi to them, this is almost a third step in empirical terms. So if it is like a transfer of a title, if it goes to a third party, it has already gone. So you cannot receive for what. Sorry, Karen, I don't find so of the party, whether it was wrong or what. So what we only need to know to do with them is to come and report to the party. We can disown them. In that issue which we are talking about, NRM MPs and what, they did not belong to opposition, neither the ruling party or to independent. Honorable Kadaga gave them some chairs. And of this particular time now, these ones cannot be there. It is because those ones were NRM and Honorable Kadaga gave them chairs. They cannot sit there. They will have to go. You wait. But for us, we don't want to take that route. No. We want, a peaceful negotiation, a peaceful way of handling the issues of politics, but where there is a criminality, like the issue of receiving money by false pretense, the issue of, committing any crime, then an individual has to answer for him or herself. We cannot be compromised with that. We can't do that. So it is upon that really we are here. So what the other group has done is to stop us from talking to the media, is stop us from talking to the public, is the government. There are some individuals, might not be the whole government. There are those who have been earning a lot using the other group. Maybe they are sharing. Some members of the other group are connected, seriously connected. There is a certain person whom I will not mention, but is at the rank of Kano, who is related to somebody in the other group, who has been, making sure that everything we do does not go through. Is there, and they are there, they are known, and we have tried to take those people. They have been receiving money from different people, which is not even for the members. They receive money from Sare, which is not for wealth creation, and they are not even taking to the members to be out of poverty. You need to know that there are 6,000 members of NUP. Who are purported to be members, who are in different jails, including the 2 MPs. There is no any action taken to make sure those people are out. We told them, please, can you negotiate with them? They said, no, for us, we don't negotiate. Whereas for them, they go in the night to go to Sare to pick some money, and also to deal with some people to ensure that we don't say anything. They don't want to negotiate for the release of these people. You remember people who have been killed, those who were killed, like Kauma, who died in Arua. His 2 children are not going to school. And we're saying, what does the party do? There are many things that we really need humanly, which we need to do. And as a party, we couldn't really keep quiet. We are very strong and we are very vivid, or whichever, this is our country. And if we want democracy to grow in this country, then we have to put our leaders on accountability. They have to account for whichever they did, including, yes, everything. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Your final say on this one, and put this to a close.
I think before I go to my friend, let me mention this one, because Michael mentioned asked a question: how was that account? To which account is the money being sent from Electoral Commission? Because my concern is money as a political finance activist. I know that in that account, you must produce a legal document that confirms that actually you are legal. And then there has to be a resolution by either SEC or any other top governing committee council. But also it has to be supported by a minute of the, of that sitting. So
Sure.
Is there any bank that could have opened up the bank account in the names of NUP without seeing these? If not, did they produce them? So if they produced them, they were from which SEC? And if that happened, or could there be a possibility that this money is being sent to an individual's bank account? These are questions that should be directed to the Electoral Commission, and as a public body, the Electoral Commission, should be enjoined to come out publicly and explain, because we are talking about public funds. But that said, I think as we are now, NUP is a people's party. There are so many interests at stake. It's like you produced this kid, it has now overgrown, it must go. It also has many other stakeholders that have an interest in it. I think it is in the very interest of the Gideon group, the very interest of the Kamocha group to come together, okay? And with the principle of agreeing and dissolving the impasse, because it is in the interest. There are supporters of NUP out there who are innocently, wedded to this party, okay, and they would want to stay wedded to this party, and they don't deserve this kind of insult, and therefore it's important that the principle of Mengo, the principle of Kamocha, do come together amicably with the principle of agreeing, not disagreeing, because often you get into these meetings and one feels it's too big, another feels it's too small, another get into this party. It's like, okay, you married, you took my daughter, whether you raped or not, you did not get a blessing, but now here you are, you have 5 children. So you come back, we take you up, okay? Because the fact is a fact. Their daughters, their children involved. And you have also evolved, you become parents. You can make your own decisions, right? So let us, in the interests of the public, resolve this matter. We don't have to be arrogant. And let us see. I think we should have a discussion on this again next week. I think Michael, you would be happy to join us again. This time around, we will have to speak with the Kamocha team. I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Henry. And indeed, we will have a follow-up on this one. We've shot our time by over 30 minutes, but it was worth it. Very interesting discussions. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being part of this discussion. Thank you so much, Gideon and Michael, and I myself, Felix Kafuma. I wish you a wonderful weekend. God bless. Till next time. See you. Bye-bye.